ultimate loaded pumpkin dump cake. Mm, pumpkin pie. It is my favorite. But my family doesn't like pie crust. No worries, family. I gotcha with this ultimate loaded pumpkin dump cake. It tastes just like a pumpkin pie, got a crunchy topping on it. You're going to love this one. If you are new here and you like this recipe, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe and hit notifications so that you get all of my recipes as they post. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you, thank you, thank you for your support. Now, let's get to dumping. To start this ultimate loaded pumpkin dump cake, I'm going to need to preheat my oven to 350. I have here a 9 by 13 baking dish, and I have prepared this with a little bit of cooking spray. You can use any type of neutral oil or butter, and then you'll set this aside. Get your 15-ounce can of pumpkin puree. Now, don't get the pumpkin pie. Now, I have made a mistake and done that in the past, but this is the 100% pure. And you'll add it to a large mixing bowl. I'm just adding it to my large measuring cup. To this, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla flavoring. And I'm just going to eyeball it. And we will add 3 large eggs. These were set out at room temperature. We've got to add a little bit of sugar to it. I have 1 cup of light brown sugar and then my warm spices. You can use pumpkin pie spice if you would like to. I just have the spices in the house, so I just use my own. So I have here a pinch of nutmeg, a pinch of clove. I have some ginger, salt, and some cinnamon. Check down in the description for all of the correct measurements for this, and then you just dump that in. Now we're going to mix this all together. I have that all mixed together. Now we need to add our milk. You will use 1 can of evaporated milk, and this is a 12 fluid ounce can. And you'll just pour this in, kind of just like you're making pumpkin pie. And then give that a good mix. I have this all mixed up, and guys, it smells delightful. Pumpkin pie dump cake is a little bit different than some of the other dump cakes that I have brought to you. Pumpkin does require a little bit of mixing with the eggs. Otherwise, it would just be a liquid mess. I'm going to clean the table up just a little bit, and I'm going to show back up with our baking dish, and then we're going to start dumping. For the ultimate loaded pumpkin dump cake, we're now going to dump the pumpkin mixture into our baking dish. Now our next dump that's going in is going to be our cake mix. I'm using a yellow cake mix, and we're just going to dump this as evenly as possible over this pumpkin. Got to be careful because it will go bump right into your dish if you're not careful. This will not be stirred. I am going to get a fork though and just kind of take out the mountains. Just get a fork and ever so lightly even out that cake mix. Next, we are going to be dumping some graham cracker crumbs. Now, this ultimate loaded pumpkin pie dump cake doesn't have a crust, which is what my family likes best about it. But we still want some crunchy on top. So just pour this right over your cake as even as possible again. Again, I'm going to spread this to make it as even as I can without disturbing the other parts of our dump cake. Okay, the next dump that we're going to do is some toffee. So this is the Hershey's key toffee bits, and we're going to spread this over top of this dump cake. This is why we call it the ultimate. Last but not least, for this ultimate loaded pumpkin dump cake is some roasted pecans. So we will add these now or dump it. Again, trying to make it as even as we can. Got to use that fork and get it a little bit more perfect. The last ingredient we're going to add here is 3/4 cup of melted butter. And we're just going to pour this over. You'll recognize this. This is the last ingredient on just about every dump cake out there. I'm going to take my fork and I'm just going to lightly press down on my dump cake. That's it. It's going in the oven now. Again, it's preheated at 350 and it will be in the oven for 50 to 60 minutes. This ultimate loaded pumpkin dump cake is out of the oven and it has this house smelling fabulous. Just take a look at that beauty. We're going to let it cool and then we're going to come back and we're going to cut this one. Our ultimate loaded pumpkin dump cake has cooled. I have a piece right here with a little bit of whipped topping and some cinnamon on there, and I am dying to taste this one. Let's get a little bit of this over here. Oh my goodness. Look at that bite. That is one beautiful piece of cake. Mm. That piece of cake is heavenly, let me tell you. It is better than a pumpkin pie. You don't miss the pie crust at all with the crunchy topping that we have here, and those pecans make this even better. I hope that you have enjoyed this recipe. If you have, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit notifications so that you get all of my recipes as they post. And if you make this, you leave me a comment down there and tell me how you and your family liked it. And until next time, stir the pot.